Hey guys, what is going on? Talk Norwich City here, back for the very, very exciting news that we have a head coach, and that head coach is Daniel Farke. Yes, Daniel Farke. We've been talking about him for a few days now, but he is now our head coach. It is confirmed, it is done, and he is the man that is going to be leading us forwards. Obviously, Borussia Dortmund, second team head coach before this, worked very closely with Thomas Tuchel, and he was the manager after David Wagner. So David Wagner, who's the current Huddersfield boss, of course, in the Huddersfield playoff final, took Huddersfield to the playoff final. He was the man before Daniel Farke. And Daniel Farke is actually more highly rated out there than David Wagner ever was. They were Borussia Dortmund's second team were never too fussed about keeping hold of David Wagner. It's the complete opposite with Daniel Farke. They desperately wanted him. He was linked with some Bundesliga clubs, Bayern Leverkusen being one of them, a big German club, and instead he's come to Norwich City because he feels it's a challenge. He wants to be the head coach of a club. He obviously wants to work alongside Stuart Webber, and it looks like it's a good appointment for me. It's a completely left field one, and lots of championship clubs are going to be looking at this and going, wow, like Norwich is something different now. They've got something different about us, and it's brilliant because we've been a club for 10, 15 years, very kind of, we haven't taken many risks. Alex Neil was a risk and it paid off for 8 months and then catastrophically failed. Now we've got a different infrastructure. It's going to take a while. Of course it is. Of course it's going to take a while, and I don't think anyone's expecting instant success, but as long as we're patient, then it could pay off, and it could pay off very, very well. So let's have a quick look what Stuart Webber's said about Daniel Farke then. Webber said about Farke's experience, he said, "We're not bringing in a novice here. I understand that he's someone people in our country won't have heard of, but he's someone who has two very good jobs so far in management at Borussia Dortmund's second team and Lippstadt 08, and he's done exceptionally well at both clubs." So Webber, he's obviously gone out, and he has gone out on a European-wide search rather than what Dave McNally said a few years back and ended up appointing Neil Adams as our coach. So that's absolutely brilliant. Webber said about choosing Farke, he said, "You scout a player on how they fit in your system, and that should be the way it works with your coach as well. You have to watch them work at their games. You speak to people who've worked with them, whether that's players or staff. You talk to people. In Daniel's case, in Germany, people know his methods and know how he works, so you really know everything there is to know about him." So I love Stuart Webber, what he's done here. I think this could be the perfect duo, and I'm not going to get too excited yet because we have appointed a second team manager of a German 4th division club, but it's exciting. It's the unknown, and I think the unknown is so exciting at times, and that's absolutely brilliant. In terms of what Daniel Farke done at Borussia Dortmund's second team, he said they don't play in an under-23s league in front of 200 people. There are sometimes 10 to 15,000 fans at certain games. So they're essentially a first team playing in a league, but with predominantly under-23 players. And I think that was a very exciting thing for Stuart Webber. And I think that's a very exciting thing for fans as well, is because Daniel Farke has been able to develop these youth players. And Stuart Webber has said on many occasions that he wants the academy to be more of a powerful role at Norwich City. We invest a lot of money for our finances, for Norwich City, we invest a lot of money in our academy, so we want to be seeing more players come through there. Yes, we've seen the Murphys come through, and yes, there's some players starting to develop, Glenn Middleton, for example, Benny Ashley Seal, players like that. And yeah, you've got, Harry Toffolo who might come back in. But except for that, it's been poor. So that is certainly going to be something that Daniel Farke and Stuart Webber are going to be looking at. But yeah, really exciting news, basically. Daniel Farke is the new Norwich City head coach coming in from Borussia Dortmund 2. Completely left field, completely different. He seems a bit of a nutter. He looks a bit of a nutter. And that is very exciting. I've just seen a comment here from Russ Vernon. Get your comments in, guys. I'm going to be trying to read them. He said, "Wonder if Dykes will stay now." I think that some of them might. Tim Close might do. I don't think that Farke is going to take any crap, put it that way. So if Tim Close doesn't want to play to the way Farke wants, then see you later, Tim Close. And I would have thought Tim Farke, where did that come from? Daniel Farke will probably want to, mould some of the youth players, so the likes of James Maddison, the likes of the Murphys, the likes of, the other youngsters we've got in about the team, he will want to get them players and mould them into players that will suit his high pressing, his high tempo attacking football. Because the likes of Wes Hoolahan, Stephen Naismith, the more experienced players might not be able to keep up with that very high tempo football. So hopefully now we've got some players, the likes of Marley Watkins, if that is going to go through. We've got some transfer players that we're looking at, and I'm sure Daniel Farke has already looked at our team and indicated the players he wants to get rid of. I'm sure a lot of the work is already being done behind the scenes, so now it's just implementing that, and this is certainly a very good bit of business. It's May the 25th. We've been without a head coach for 3-4 months. No, not that long, maybe 2 months, pretty much 2-3 months. So it's good to have a head coach finally there. But just thought I'd drop in. If you're not watching this live, then please do leave your comments, leave this a like as well, share it about, and basically let me know in the comments below what you guys are thinking about Daniel Farke. I've just seen the last comment, I'm going to end it here, from Harry Good. He said, "Is Alan Irvine staying?" I don't think he'll stay now. I don't think he'll work alongside Daniel Farke too well. But I'd like Alan Irvine to stay. He's done a good job with us in the time he sort of spent as interim head coach. So I would like to see Alan Irvine stay. Will he fit in with Daniel Farke's work? I don't think so. Anyway, thanks very much for tuning in. What is it, like midday? Something like that. Just really exciting news coming out of Norwich City, which is very good. I'll see you very soon. Peace out.